Hello, everybody. Hello, beloveds. Welcome to Love Revolution with Dr. Roz. I am delighted to be with my international sister, Nicole Kirby, and we met through a mutual organization, eWomen, but we kept seeing each other at meetings, and so it was so amazing that we got to do a one-on-one, and now we're here together. And so before we dive into your story, Nicole, though, on every episode of Love Revolution, then I read the Be Love Pledge. So for those of you that want to read along, go to thekingcenter.org/be love, and you'll scroll down and you'll see the pledge. And if you, while you're there, if you want to sign the pledge and say, yes, sign me up, I'm agreeing to be love, we'd be delighted for you to sign the pledge. So here it is. Join us around the world in taking the pledge. I acknowledge three things: the violence, oppression, inequity, injustice, and hate in our world has to stop. I have a responsibility and role to play in creating social change for a more just, humane, equitable, and peaceful world. The decision is mine whether to do nothing in this moment or to have the courage to stand up for justice. And I have made my decision. Starting today, I make a personal choice to be love. I pledge to allow love to drive my thoughts, words, decisions, and actions, and honor the humanity of every individual. I pledge to speak the truth to power in love. I pledge to focus on defeating injustice and not destroying the person. I pledge to promote unity and refuse to perpetuate or magnify division. I pledge to support leaders who demonstrate a love for humanity. I pledge to demonstrate a life of courage, care, and compassion as I boldly confront anything that stands in opposition to love. By signing this pledge, I'm helping to create what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. called the beloved community. So as many of you know, you've heard me say before that my mister and I read this every morning during our quiet time. Just kind of sets my whole entire day. And then I read it again when I come in my office. So all I did is I went to the website, I just copied it off the website and printed it out. And I put it in this little plastic sheet for here in my office. But this is the basis of Love Revolution. It is looking at the ways that love can transform us. And sometimes it'll be just me talking, and sometimes I get to have great conversations with folks like Nicole. And so with all of that, Nicole, welcome. Tell the folks out there a little bit about you, and then we'll dive into your story and how love impacts you.
Well, I'm up in beautiful British Columbia. I live smack dab in the middle of Vancouver Island, but I certainly love spending as much time as possible in the United States. And really, I've kind of made my lifetime a study of personal development. And I think I read my first personal development book when I was 14. I had parents who always had those types of literature in the house. And so I'm now a certified coach. I have a degree in psychology, but where I always end up landing is studying personality. It's always where it's the full circle. And I just love studying how our personality impacts our success in life, whether that's personal, professional, or however. And certainly love shows up in all capacities in our personality and how we express that.
Yes. I'm curious, what was the book? Do you remember your first book when you were 14?
You know what? My parents always had, I think it was one of Louis Buscaglia's books. I don't even know if you can find Leo Buscaglia books anymore, but Scott Pack, the Road Less Traveled. Yeah, yes. They just always had. Well, my parents are readers. There was books everywhere in our house.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, specifically, I'm always interested to hear how folks are using love and how they're finding it to be transformational, either in their personal life or in their professional life. And you can go in either direction with that or both, Nicole, if you want to. But I'm curious, especially with your specialty in, and you can give me the right semantics, but as an Enneagram expert, how is it that you see love showing up in your Enneagram coaching?
You know, the Enneagram is, as you know, just my favorite thing right now. I think love, the whole concept of love and how it shows up for people is feeling understood. I think
Mm.
one of the emotions that we actually feel a lot in life, whether it's personal or professional, I was thinking about this earlier. It's an emotion we often wrestle with is frustration.
Mhm.
And I think we often feel frustrated because we don't feel heard. And I think one of the ways that we can be loving and show love, and as the pledge says, be love,
Mm.
is to truly listen to people.
Wow.
It's transformational. It's transformational in workplaces. It's transformational in any human interaction we have. And many of us think that we're really good listeners. And listening is an extremely active skill. And when people feel like they're truly heard, there's an opportunity there for understanding.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it opens the door for understanding, because it's only when we feel valued and trusted that we feel comfortable expressing to other people and communicating to other people what our needs are. And that doesn't matter if that's in a romantic relationship, when you're parenting, when you're in a work relationship, when you're in a business relationship. We can't do business without trust. But I
Right.
think we have to listen, and we have to listen wanting to understand the other person.
Yes. 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 It goes back a little bit to those 7 habits. See, first to understand and then to be understood. Yeah. And I talk about that a lot with the 7 habits of highly effective teens. I've used that as a basis of my coaching for a long time because of how important those habits are. So I think that is so powerful. Last week we were in a training, and the speaker said, how many of you, when you are, on a call, are listening to respond? Well, of course, as entrepreneurs, we're conditioned to say, oh no, I never do that. How many do that? Yes or no? Oh, all these people, no, 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 no. I was like, oh, I'm going to say yes, because I'm not listening to jump in, but I am listening to see how can I respond? How can I help the person feel heard? So yes, I'm listening to respond. And that takes on a lot of different formats. But to say that you never listen to respond, I mean, that kind of means like maybe you're not even listening, right? And so so that's so powerful that you brought that up, that it's like you're almost equating leaning in and listening with love.
It's an act of making somebody feel valued. There's no two ways about it. It would transform. It's transformational when people feel heard. Now, that doesn't mean, empathy is often misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to have empathy, it does not mean that we have to have experienced the experiences of the other person.
Mm-hmm.
It simply means that we're listening to understand, and we're listening with curiosity. And that's one thing that I try to tell people, or I impart in my trainings, is let people surprise you.
Yeah.
We assume so much, and one of the ways that we really negatively impact communication, true communication, is by assuming the response of the person in front of us. And who we do that the most with is the people we're closest with. Oh, I know what she's going to say. I know what he's going to say. And then we start listening. But let people surprise you. If you go into any conversation with that attitude, you're actually going to listen, because you're going to be listening for something different. And even if they say the exact same thing again, and that came true, oh, she did say it again.
Yeah.
You're listening to hear something different.
Right.
And that's really important.
Right. Which again goes back to the fact, just that gift of listening, that gift of honoring their humanity. I think that's one of my favorite lines of the whole pledge is, I pledge to allow love to drive my thoughts, words, decisions, and actions, and honor the humanity of every individual. How better can we honor the humanity than to be actively listening, to be showing them that they matter, that they are seen, that they are heard. And I love what you said about that oftentimes the frustration comes from feeling unheard, feeling unseen. I also am reading Michelle Obama's book, the Light We Carry. And that's what she talks about throughout, is the weight of carrying other people's labels for you, or the weight of knowing your essence, but then others are not seeing it, and how important that is. All of that synergy is just so beautiful. So I could talk to you for hours and hours and hours and hours, Nicole. I think you are absolutely amazing, and I just am so grateful for you, and just delighted to know you, and I cannot wait to hug you in person. I know one day really soon we're going to get to hug in person. So
I'm so glad we've met, and I'm so glad that, I mean, how many times have we had the opportunity to meet? And I think we only actually met less than 3 weeks ago.
right. Yeah, and our paths keep crossing. How many times? Yes, exactly. Excuse me. So yes. Well, love revolution, beloveds. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Nicole, for being with us, and until next time, Agape. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me.